I was 9 years old visiting my mother in jail. Like, even when people ask me how I feel about my statue, I'm a kid from the inner city of Chicago that grew up with no lights, no food, broken home, broken family, and all the things that went along the way of my life that I can go on and on and talk about. Yeah, you're damn right I'm happy with it.
I'm looking forward to just having coffee at the machine that we got.
Bro, I like the easy coffee, man. Just give me some coffee, give me some creamer, let me move.
Oh no, it's gonna be easy. Don't worry.
But when I go places, I make it easy on myself. I just get a latte and I just get almond milk and I add honey. Add honey to it.
Got you.
So I just try to simplify my coffee.
Trying to get simpler and simpler. You just go black.
No. Taste is, I can't. I got to get some sweetness in it. I'm not there. I don't think I'm ever going to be, that's like drinking gasoline.
No.
What?
No. If you drink,
man, that stuff will clean out your toilet if it's stopped up. Black coffee.
if it's not good coffee, yes. But what I've learned, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm saying that, and I'm not there yet. But I've gotten to the point where I want to start trying to drink black coffee because, man, the other stuff you just never know what you're gonna get. Like, I never know.
I feel like you get to the point where you start drinking black coffee, you ain't gonna be able to move far from your house because you're gonna be needing shit all the time.
That's when you're drinking that gas, that Folgers, that Maxwell House.
Right.
So welcome back.
Welcome back.
So I'm Bob.
Well, we know that now.
For those who don't know.
This is Bob. I'm D-Wade.
And welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
So, check-in. Well, I'm going to do my check-in. And, we're doing this check-in process. And I enjoy this check-in process.
Why you enjoy it?
As you get older, man, you just want to just, like, somebody knowing or asking how you doing, bro?
So what you're saying is your wife don't ask you when you come home, how you doing?
Ooh.
You enjoy this check-in with me. You ain't getting a check-in at home, Bob? You got something you want to talk about? Please. Open it up to me.
Safe space?
It's safe space. Safe space. You ain't getting check-ins, bro?
Plead fifth. Nah, I see that yes and no. Yes.
No, bro, you live in a house with kids and you got a wife who has a career. They not checking in.
They worrying about the life. they want to make sure the kids good. Who's dropping the kids off? Who's picking them up?
Yeah.
All that.
You worry about the schedule. You ain't worry about checking in. All right, brother. So let me ask you. Let's start with Bob.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while since we've seen each other.
Yes.
I just want to check in with you, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm in a good place. I went to the dentist now. So I always have a medical story. I went to the dentist and they basically told me that I need everything fixed. But the way she made me feel as far as like just being...
Yeah. Is this the new dentist?
New dentist.
Okay, see. Listen, everybody, now.
And my insurance is good. Must be good. Must have gotten better.
Okay.
Because it was like, we could do all this for $500. But no, it was my insurance. So she said you need to do some work or whatever. And I said, I realized I was always anxious to go to a dentist. I don't know why. I don't know if it's childhood or whatever. I'm just anxious.
Did you grow up going to the dentist often? Well, maybe that's a part of it.
100%. But the thing is, my parents, that just wasn't a part of like the normal routine, like how it is for my kids right now. And so I just like how kids are like kind of scared of getting shots and some adults that grows into their adulthood. It's not that I was scared of the dentist, I just didn't think about the dentist like that. And when I was there, I felt safe.
Okay.
I felt okay. And then she was like, it's only gonna take an hour and a half, you can put your headphones on. And I felt cool and anxious-free from going to the dentist. I might be going more regularly now. And I've always been blessed to not have like super jacked up teeth, thank God. Like I didn't need braces or anything like that. So that's what I have. So I am feeling anxious-free.
So you feel comfortable with somebody in your mouth.
I feel comfortable in somebody in my mouth. And I wouldn't say pause, but yes.
Yo, for real, like you gotta feel comfortable with being able to open up something that's so private. Like your mouth is one of the most private things because people don't get a chance to really get all up in there.
All up in there.
And so that's one of the most private. That's a personal relationship. What is it? Is it a hygienist?
Yes,
hygienist. Your hygienist. It's a personal relationship with your hygienist that you must have. So that's why I was asking, is this a new person?
It's a new person. And they got new cameras now too. Like a new
the technology is crazy.
Bro, they have all kind of X-rays. They had an X machine to go around my head like 4 or 5 times. They had a camera that went in my mouth. And they had the other they did must have 3 or 4 different X-rays. And she showed me my mouth, and then I realized, I said, you know what? Because you showed it to me like that, I have to come back. Because now I see myself. Like it was a mirror in my face.
There you go.
And
Now
I
you
was
know.
like,
Now you know.
okay, so I wasn't doing as good of a job as I thought I was. I said, it's because it looks good in the front.
So are you like a once every 6 month type of?
Well,
I know we're going off of. I'm like, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like once. I go every 3 months. I just
that's what she told me I need to do.
I was like, listen, what we doing?
That's what she told me to do.
Yeah, I want to see you more often.
Yeah.
It was like, it was like a relationship. I want to see you more often.
Yeah. And now I am now that guy that's going to be every 3 months.
That's good, bro.
But at least, because before this was about every other year. That's some bullshit. And I know that's some bullshit.
Yeah. They was calling you yuck behind your back.
Not necessarily, because, I brush every day.
Yeah.
I floss occasionally every day. Yeah. But
it's just like you shave your head every day, but you ain't got no mirror in the back. You ain't going to see all the hair. You ain't going to see the hair you miss.
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah.
So now, and it's right down the corner from my house, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm good.
Yeah, I love to hear that, bro.
So about you? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. This is a great time of the year for me because this is, I like to call it slow down time.
Okay.
Once we get into November, the last 2 months of the year, November, December, it really becomes about everybody in my family. Okay. I got a lot of birthdays.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
it's like up quick.
The end of October with my wife. My mom and my daughter got a birthday on the same day, on November 7th. That's 2 birthdays, same day, 2 very, very important people. Sister-in-law, son, just the list goes on and on. I got a lot of birthdays in a short period of time. And so once I got back from the statue weekend and I took some time to go visit my wife in Canada where she was working, I got back and I was just full week and a half of celebrating everyone's birthdays and trying to accomplish all the things I needed to accomplish for everyone.
Got you.
My mom turned 70 this year, so that's a big year. It wasn't about doing a one party. We wanted to make this month about her 70th. Nice. And so many different things that was planned throughout this month that I had to be a part of and I had to make sure it happened. And of course, I got a great team to help me. So, bro, I've been in lockdown family grind mode in the midst of, the rest of the things in my life at the same time. But I love this time of the year. I know the weather changes, the leaves start falling and, it starts feeling like the holidays. You start feeling that holiday spirit. Yes. If you have kids around, you start being able to get, you live through them a little bit through this. Sure. Through the smiles and the joys of, the anticipation of gifts or getting gifts or family coming around. And so I just really been like these last couple months, it's really been about family to me and just spending that quality time, especially coming off of being celebrated, in which we would talk about. I wanted to kind of give back now, I had a year to focus on myself, to get celebrated for myself. Now it's about how can I be there for all my loved ones. And so that's my check-in. My check-in feels good because right now I'm just pouring out. I'm pouring out because I feel like my cup got pretty full. And so in 2024, so now it's pour out time.
We should think about what we're grateful for. I know in this episode for me, like, let's say there's a few things that I'm grateful for. I know I'm grateful for my family. Like I used to mention, I'm grateful for my family. We moved here a few years back and we just kind of locked in, right? So my family, my wife, as much as we give each other stuff, that's my rider and my kids who keep me young all the time. So my family as a unit all together is them. I'm grateful for our business. The business itself is moving. And then what I mean by that is that, with coming out of the COVID and coming out of the pandemic and stuff is kind of up, down, not sure, left, right, what's up, what's good, what's not good. We have these things.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see the other side, right? And I'm starting to see it, and I'm like, okay. Now that I've kind of locked in to this LA move 4 or 5 years later, it feels good. I'm almost, I get up, every morning I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm ready to go because I'm just excited to just kind of just start making these moves, right? Here locally. And that got me excited. That's what I'm grateful for. And I'm also grateful for just my health. And I say that because, it could always be better. But the fact that where it is now, I had knee surgery a few years back. And I was walking the other day, and I realized I wasn't limping. And I wasn't sure if it was because I lost weight. I wasn't sure if it was because the therapy is working or whatever it was. I wasn't walking with a limp, and my knee wasn't swollen.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment, I was like, oh, snap. I literally told my trainer I can run right now. I can go jog. I ain't gonna do it though.
Slow down, player.
I know.
So I know how we get.
Are you right?
We start being able to bend our knee. And now we like throw it up there. I can go get it.
Bro, I was literally like there.
Yo, I'm getting in the gym on Thursday.
To do what?
You'll get an invite. Just want to let you know that. Speaking of bad bodies.
Thursday for what? Like gyms, like basketball gym?
Yeah, we getting in the gym.
To hoop?
We getting in the gym.
You ain't hooped since...
It ain't about... We getting in the gym.
All right, say less.
All the men are getting in the gym on Thanksgiving morning.
Where?
At Chris Gym.
All right, say less. It's gonna be like a 3-on-3 hustle. It's gonna be
We're gonna put something nice together for everybody. Like this is not gonna be craziness. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be competition. It's gonna be a good time. We might need to bring the cameras in there.
Oh, we will be bringing the cameras in there.
Yeah. So speaking of your body, I hope you start stretching the next couple days.
I'm starting stretching after this pod. I'm stretching.
Thursday morning, we're in the gym.
Say less. All right. Well, then I'm saying I'm grateful for my health. Well, then let me make sure I stay healthy. Then.
Yeah.
So what you grateful for?
When you get to our age, man, you start simplifying things too.
You do.
The things that matter, they don't matter the same no more. And so as you are going down your hit list of things you're thankful for, mine is no different. My family is important. My friends are important. My health are important. These are the things and the people who, I'm around all the time. When you have your village of people, it's a beautiful thing, right? Especially when it's so loud out there and in other spaces in the world. Where you can find your calm and your quiet is in your village.
Right.
I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have a large village of people that, I can experience their lives and they can experience mine and we can, have, share moments together, man, and that's what it's all about. I always say that, one of my tattoos right here it says moments and the memories that we give each other. That's all we have at the end of the day. And I have so many people in my village that I'm able to have those moments with and share these memories with. And so, man, I'm so thankful for it. Yeah, for sure. We're so thankful for it because none of this stuff is really like the statue weekend was great, but it wouldn't have been great if I didn't have a village of people there to support and be in there with me. Right. That been through the journey too. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I ain't had friends, if, I wasn't people who worked hard to work on relationships with family because you have to work at relationships with family members. If I wasn't one of those people, then that would have been that gift that was given to me. It wouldn't have felt like anything. It only felt good because it wasn't about the outside world. Obviously, we saw what they did with a moment, and so it was really about the ones that were so connected to me, man. Just being able to know that we all know the journey. Yeah, we all know the journey. Yes, we do. You know what I mean? It's different, and everybody's there has been in a different part of my journey. Right. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. And like you said, man, health. I think. We can't do anything without it, bro. My back, I was telling you recently, my back has been bothering me big time. And,
still?
Well, I started working with this new guy. Shout out to my guy, Brian Reynolds, man. He's incredible. Chris and I, started working with him recently. This young black man who's really, got into it. He called himself a stretchologist. Bro, he be coming to the crib, putting me in like DDTs, bro. He put me in all kind of... But, bro, it's the most vulnerable spaces, you know what I mean? But like my body... I feel myself getting older. Like in real time, I feel myself getting stiffer. Like I feel myself not being able to turn as quick. Like, and I'm so used to being able to just, Right. And so now because of golf and because of traveling and because of all the things that I do and trying to be active in all my kids' lives, my health outside of going to the doctors and the other things we talked about, it's the physical too. And so I've been working real hard, man, just on the chiropractor, stretching, getting body work. Like I said, I throw yoga in there. I throw all these things in there, man, because if my body ain't right, I'm nothing. I'm not good. Yeah. And so I'm thankful right now to be able to feel good. It's good. You know what I'm saying? Be able to hop in and out that car the way I did today.
I saw it. I saw it. Like it's spry.
Yeah, man, I felt spry. So just a very, and then we at the time of the year where, this is, the scent in the air is gratitude. The scent in the air is gratefulness. Right. And thankfulness. And so, I'm definitely thankful as well to be able to go through this year. And I know it's still time left, but I'm already in 2025. My 2025 calendar already, is clicking. But to go through this year and to have a vision of how you wanted your 2024 year to go. And now as I get to the end of the year, I'm starting looking at my vision board and I keep it in my bathroom right in front of me. If I'm on the toilet, I get to look at it
Right.
because, I don't want to be on my phone the whole time. I want to actually, go in there and have moments of silence where you can get away from the phone sometime. And the bathroom is sometimes the best for me. Anyway, my vision board is sitting right there and I was just looking at it and I was like, man, look at all the things that, I strive to do and I accomplished this year. Not everything on my vision board, but so many things I've checked off. And I just have a running list of things that I want to be, that I want to do. And I kept saying to myself, so I read them. If I sit in there and they'd be like, show up, be their dad. Like whatever I wrote down, just these little terms, like I embodied them in this 2024. And so check into that.
That's pretty dope to be able to, I never thought of that. Like just checking in with your, like the stuff you told yourself that you were trying to do.
Yeah.
For the year.
It's like we do it sometime and we leave it.
Right.
No, I can't do that. And so me and my guys, man, we did it last year. You wasn't a part of this one. Hopefully be a part of the next one. This year, we need to plan it. But to really put it together, man, and to really check in on each other too. You know what I'm saying? Like make sure we all holding each other accountable for we know everyone's dreams are for that year. So we do check-ins, et cetera. And so, but I do my own personal check-ins throughout, bro, because, I don't want to be that guy that have all these things I say I'm going to do. And at the end of the year, I end up doing none of them because most of the time they're all probably some new in there, some uncomfortable in there, some I don't know a lot about in there. These are not all things that I'm just so familiar with when I'm putting on my dreams. But I don't want to be scared to chase my own personal dreams. And so I make sure I check in on myself as much as I can and try to personally hold myself accountable.
You feel like you dream big?
Yeah.
How big do you? How big you allow yourself to dream?
I'm always dreaming. I'm always thinking. I love not having a writer's block on my dreams. Let them flow, man.
That's a bar.
Yeah,
damn, that's a bar.
Yeah, some people got writer's block on their dream. Like I don't allow that. You know what I mean? And a lot of it, and getting comfortable is one thing. Like we work hard in life to be comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, we want to all be comfortable in the sense of how we live and how our family live and how we, I get a little uncomfortable when I get comfortable too. I'm like,
that's right.
It's time to write. It's time to write this next dream. And so some dreams are big and, mega. And some dreams are small.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And attainable today, right now. And so big dreamer, big believer in that.
So now, one of the biggest dreams you I don't even know if it was a dream that you could have had when you were young, but it's a dream that you've gotten now. Because we just talked about it. You just come off this dope-ass weekend. And now we're on the other side of it now, right?
Yeah.
The statue moment. Like, how, I know you talked about like how, we talked about how grateful, and I'm talking about from my perspective, just watching you, right? Watching you through this process. When he came to you in LA and talked about like, hey, we're going to do this. He surprised you. And it's interesting because I see the outside, right? Talking about something that happened on the inside that I know personally. And to see you kind of go through that process too. And I'm going to you, this process obviously is of you and obviously all the things that are surrounding you. But for me to see this process from the outside looking in, not outside looking in, but like from a voyeur looking at you, but then also seeing people comment about what's coming in. But at the end of the day, the gratefulness of just that moment. Like at the end of the day, you can talk about whatever you want. How much gratitude do you feel like you felt?
Man, it's so much. It's so much to that. And I think, even in Miami, the unfortunate part of the media landscape of the world is, everyone took a moment that was so important to me, and the media immediately on my press conference, they asked me about it. And I reacted to it, in the sense of, how I felt in that moment. But, when I get away from it, man, I'm just so grateful. I'm so thankful. Like I tell people all the time, I get asked this question everywhere I go. I don't care if it's a kid who just start learning how to speak, or if it's an older person who you can barely hear speaking. Everyone says, hey, what do you feel about the statue? Everybody. And so on one part of it, I'm thankful because this wasn't a conversation that was happening leading up to my statue. No one was really talking about me even having a statue.
Right.
Outside of a few people in Miami who knew in us.
Right.
And so now the whole world is actually talking about it. I've seen it everywhere, like everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I'll smile every time. I'm like, look at them talking about my statue. Man, to go back to the process, the process of this statue, as you know, It took about a year and a half or so,
Right.
Roughly from the idea to completion.
Correct.
And in the midst of that, a lot of visits to Chicago
Right.
to personally, sit and talk with the artists about what I wanted my statue moment to feel like.
Right.
On another end, I'm also too, you got to be appreciative of what people look at as the hate that comes from the outside, because a lot of it is people view you a certain way at the same time. The fact that people was talking about how my statue looked, that means that I'm a pretty handsome man. Everybody was heartbroken by how I looked. So I was like, well, I guess I look all right. I guess I've done good.
50 beautiful people. 50 beautiful people.
Long time ago.
Long time ago, but
So, I understand that. But for me, when I sat down and I thought about this statue, I thought about what I wanted to represent. And what I really wanted the moment to represent was an expression.
Right.
An expression of one of the most euphoric moments of my life. Hitting a game winner, one-legged game winner, three-pointer, on my hometown team, running, jumping on the scores table, coming up with this concept, this is my house. First time I ever said that, because I couldn't say that in my own house growing up. Never actually said it was my house before. That was my first time. And, when I was talking to the artists about it, I was like, listen, I need this to be that, I needed to feel like that moment. And I understood it was going to be sitting in front of an arena, and I wanted to express to everyone that this is my house. And it was no better image than the one that I chose. And so when I went down the process, to focus on the expression, to focus on the body, and to focus on the movement, to establish exactly what that was. Right. And so you see, like, even to how my fingers were pointed down, man, I went through how my shoulders were lifted, like the detail that I went through to make sure that, this statue that will hopefully be around, this monument, this sculpture, this statue, whatever you want to call it, will be around for a very long time. And so I accomplished all the things I personally wanted to accomplish, and very proud of it. From all the details, I tried to keep it very minimal. I try not to put too many details on my statue. I think, to talk about a few of them, I have my mom and my dad name on the back of my sneaker.
I saw that.
It was something to represent, my mother and my father. Obviously I had, rest in peace to my agent, Henry Thomas, who I lost along this journey. I represented, 5901 South Prairie, and also represent 14051 South Clare Boulevard, two of the places who raised me, on my band that was underneath, when you see me pointing down. I had details, like I had the gum in my mouth, and when you go up and you see the actual statue, it's something in my mouth that's actually the gum I was chewing. That's a big red piece of big red gum that I was chewing. And so it was certain details that I looked at that I wanted to make sure that this statue represented. And, and it did. And so, unfortunately, we live in a world where you don't control what goes out, how it goes out, what people's thought of it is. And the world just they went with it. And, like I always tell people, is I have fun with, like, I'm so in on the joke. Like, I probably, I know myself better than anybody, so I know how I look and all the things. But, what I said was real when I said if I wanted it to look like me, that I'll go stand down in front. As in, as I was really being honest with, kind of what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be, an artistic expression of the moment. But in the midst of it, there's a lot of things I learned during the statue process that, I didn't know. And I know a lot of people don't know. And then a lot of it was the fact that I was actually getting a statue in Miami, in the city of Florida. And the weather, doesn't permit for you to do what other cities do. And so just even knowing that how much more in the bronzing process of my statue, how much more we had to coat my statue to be able to take the salt water and the sun and everything that Miami, brings, or we're going to have to paint it every year. Right. Expensive cost. And so in that, just even knowing, like, when the photos went out, there was a lot of shine on the photo because of, they get me from down here. And I do got a strong chin jawline when you get me from down there. And it just went. And so when I saw the photos, I was like, well, that doesn't look like what my statue looks like. But once I started seeing how they implemented it in different places, like, I was like, some of it I was like, come on, y'all. Some of it I was like, genius. Like at the football game, bro, for the kick of the business field goal.
Disrespectful. I know
the disrespect on the love, the disrespect rolled up in love for me at the same time. I know some people was in their feelings about it, but, for me, it was more so about the artist, and it was about the moment. And we don't live in a world that is sensitive to the information coming after the first information comes out. True. Once the first thing come out, guilty. Yeah. Give me a chance. But Man, it was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful moment for my family that I just got to enjoy. You know what I mean? And as I tell people all the time, I was 9 years old visiting my mother in jail. Like, even when people ask me how I feel about my statue, I am a kid from the inner city of Chicago that grew up with no lights, no food, mama in jail, broken home, broken family, and all the things that went along the way of my life that I can go on and talk about. Yeah, you're damn right. I'm happy with the fact that from 17 years old to now 42 years old, if I put all them years together, when I decided that I was going to give everything to the game of basketball, that at 42 years old, at the end of the statue in front of the arena, that I was drafted in front of at 21 years old. At 42 years old. Did I say 41?
You said 41.
Oh, that's when you get old, when you start deleting.
I let that go. Yes.
I'm about to be 43.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes. Oh, no, you started going backwards.
Okay. So 21 years from the day I walked up and pulled up to that arena when I got drafted. When I had to pull in, I had to do that press conference, I was 21 years old. And then at 41, 21 years later, to be at 42, 21 years later, to be able to sit out front and to celebrate that statue, and to understand that I'm the first one out of the history of obviously the Miami Heat, to be able to have this accomplishment. I wanted to focus on that. I definitely appreciate people focusing on bringing more attention to my statue, because y'all guys have allowed now. People are going to go to Miami and they're actually going to go check me out.
Facts.
And they're going to go for all the reasons that they want to. And some of them are going to be just to see if it's fucked up. And they're not going to even look at it. They're going to walk up and be like, oh, they fucked him up. And some of them are going to go because they want to experience the moment. And so it's so many different ways. And so I appreciate
all of it.
The media attention on it, because it's going to make it a place where you have to now, that you're going to want to go experience. Someone sent me a video last night after the game, and just so many people was crowded around. Getting their moment. And so whatever their moment is, the experience is, you don't get that often. It's very often that you know somebody, that you get to experience something, that somebody that you have, some kind of interaction with, to have something of that sort. And so I'm thankful to be alive and be able to see people experience my statue, while I'm here, to be able to see it. So real dope moment, bro.
You talk about, it's funny because you were talking about when you arrived to Arena 21 years ago, and you arrived with Zaire.
I arrived with Zaire 21 years ago.
And then now, it's funny because I've covered you a lot, and I've always man, get him to cry. Just get him to cry. I could just try to get him
bro,
to cry.
You always trying to get me to cry. I cried enough.
Yes, I get it, but I was I felt like, I don't know why, I think it's for the camera, it's always good for me to see you cry, because I'm all about the story, right? And then when Zaire when he got up and started talking, it's funny, where I was sitting, I wasn't in front of you. But as he's talking, I said, he about to cry. I said, he about to cry. I said,
my downfall. Look at this.
But you know what it was? Because as a father, one, because I know Zaire's story.
Yeah.
I know y'all two story together.
Yeah.
And to see that young man do that up there and just have his moment to honor you, and for you to kind of receive that, because you can't be any prouder. Mind you, it's a moment for you to be proud, because it's your moment.
Right, yeah, for sure.
But he's out there doing his thing. Oh man, I'm getting chills when he was talking, and his anecdote and the way he kind of shared, how he interwoven into this y'all relationship, into even that, probably one of the illest quotes that's would continue to be talked about, the traffic. Just watching that, to see him, because you had your dad.
I saw Tafo put that out on his Instagram shortly after that. It was fire.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was enjoy the traffic. And I was like, yeah, that's fire.
Bro.
You know what I mean? That's something that my son said that I say kind of took the airwaves like that, So some good came out of, some good press came out of that moment.
How much gratitude you think was there when you saw that?
Man, I told Z, when we had him on the show,
right,
is when I actually pulled him aside and was like, oh yeah. That he reached out to me and they said there would be 3 people that will speak on your behalf, right? Which we were going through the setup. And Pat was obviously one. And then obviously I chose UD to be 2. They chose UD as well. So we was equal there. And then the other one was on me. And I was like, it has to be Zaire.
Right.
When you think about my journey, when you think about pulling up to that arena 21 years ago, I was pulling up with my little man. And so he's been through this entire journey with me, He's seen it from so many different vantage points. And so he was the perfect person to speak right before, something of that magnitude was revealed. And I had no idea what he was going to say, but I trust in his version of, how he sees his dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, I just wanted him to express that and express what that moment felt like it meant to our family. And he did an incredible job, man. Like, I was sitting there and I'm watching him and like, I felt it. I was like, oh, it's good. Where my tissue at? Where my tissue? And I knew I was about to lose. You start looking around and you start touching your shoestrings. But man, just to see him walk, as he's going through his journey in life of, all the feels that he have, whether some of them are self-inflicted or some of them are what people, how people view him. It matters to him. And he's going through his own journey and he wove in my journey and his journey together beautifully. And as a parent, you never know what your kids take from you. You never know when they're listening. You have no idea when they're listening. And so for him to recount these anecdotes, because I am that parent. I am an anecdote parent. I am in the moment, we're about to stop and I'm going to give you an anecdote. And for him to be able to pull one of those, moments out is a very, that was a very touching moment because it was so fitting for the moment, for his life, and for so many other kids out there. He wasn't just speaking to me, he had a microphone.
Right.
And at that moment, he understood that this microphone reached so many people that sometimes you got to understand you just need to enjoy the traffic. And, that was just one of my anecdotes I gave Z along his process, of trying to get where he's trying to get to. And I always tell him, I said, brother, once you finally get through all that traffic and you get to your destination, what does it say? It says, arrive. It's over. You were there. Enjoy the journey there. And then a lot of it is going to be a lot of traffic on that journey. And it's something, and everything that you need is in that traffic for you. And if you don't learn how to enjoy that, you're not going to get to the destination because that traffic going to suck. And so I just use, traffic is something that we all experience every day, especially if you live in LA.
Especially.
You know all about what traffic, and you better figure out a way to enjoy it because you ain't going nowhere. And so that was just a small antidote for him for life. You're going to have to enjoy the traffic. And, soon as that lane open up, you better be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And so get everything you need out of it because when that lane open up, it's time to go.
Time to go.
And so I love the fact that he shared that moment.
Oh man, that whole weekend was dope though. And that was...
Oh yeah, the weekend. Wait a minute. So you recount it with me. Okay, so we started on Friday. I started with a golf tournament first. My dad and I did our first hey, let's just see if we can pop off this father-son golf moment. And we did it.
That was a cool moment.
So that was cool. That's how we started off Friday. Actually, going back, we started off Friday voting first. We're gonna go back to that. We started off voting first.
Right.
And then we went from there and Social Change Fund. Shout out to Social Change Fund. And then we went from there and we went to the golf tournament. And then from there we went to the 003 night. Talk to me about your vision, because you didn't know much about the 003 party. I kind of kept a lot of things away.
You did, but what I did know was that we asked you, I think when we was doing Zaya's party, it was like, come dressed.
Come dressed.
Come dressed. And I was like, man, I got to go find a suit that fits.
Not that fits, that's crazy.
But you know what? I wanted to find a tux, right? Because I didn't want to do like a black suit, because I was like, you know what? Because I know one of the things is that you said you wanted to make sure that your team didn't have to really do work.
Yeah, I wanted my team to show up to this night.
Just to enjoy.
I want them to just enjoy this beautiful night.
Right. So I came to enjoy. Mm-hmm. I was that week before I was looking for a tux. I went to a few different places and I was excited, right? So I got my tux. I was looking for the right shoes. I was calling people and I was looking for a bow tie. I was the whole nine. And then I was excited, I was damn near going to prom, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's the feeling. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, because I was there, bro. I was sitting there. The nighttime come quick enough. Because I was like, yo, I already knew everyone was going to come stylish. And Miami showed up. It was fly. And it's cool because even though it was like a double, it was like a super clean party. You had, Miami music is a little not it's not tuxedo
Right.
weather.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
tuxedo vibes.
Yeah.
So to see that juxtaposition of booty music,
Yeah, yeah. You know we got to put a little booty music in
you know
there.
what
It's
I'm
Miami,
saying?
baby.
With the tux,
in a party in Miami without some booty
you
music.
can't, right? So that to me was just like, you got Luke, you got like for you to have Miami show up like that.
Yeah.
And
I had a vision.
Okay.
I had a vision. And, I wanted to move away from, my team was already preparing for a lot of things, right? We're preparing for the statue on Saturday. We're preparing for the street naming. We're preparing for our first, wine festival when we gather. We're preparing for the golf tournament. We had a lot going on in Team Wade, and so I wanted to take something away, and I wanted to implement something that I felt, one, that I personally wanted. Like, when you think about monumental moments in your life and you're able to now curate what that looks like, you have a vision of images that you want to live 20 years from now. And so I had a vision of how I wanted to look when my grandkids look back on their grandpa on Statue Day, on Statue Night, Statue Weekend. So I had a whole look. And so the 003, the James Bond kind of, taking off the take of 007, we had the whole James Bond feel, man. So the details just in when you walked up, just even seeing that beautiful Aston Martin, that bronze Aston Martin outside when you pulled up to that carpet, statues are forever. And just, man, just the whole nine, man. Shout out to Marissa and Matt Brooks for just understanding my vision. And when everybody came in, man, I wanted to take them down a journey, of my career, of my life. On the walk-in, you saw all the photos that we had and the stories that we were telling leading up. Right. We picked the perfect location in Queen down in Miami Beach. And so, man, just getting in there, and then, the performances, the dances, people coming from the ceiling, and
it was like a circus.
It was like, yeah. So we had that beauty, right? We had the DJ that once that ended, we had DJ Louis V dropping the music that we love, that we can all rap to, sing to, food, drinks, beautiful people all around, beautiful men, beautiful women, everyone dressed to the nines. And then we ended the night with a little Miami. We was able to bring in DJ Khaled. We was able to bring in Trina, JT Money, Uncle Luke. Like, we was able to bring in Miami as well.
The fact that you had JT Money on there.
JT Money was on there.
I was like, yo, that's Poison Clay. That's like my childhood.
But so if you notice, and we couldn't get everyone because of people's schedules, but we wanted to go down like a 20-year journey of like Miami music and like the career. Right. And we wanted to use different artists that was along the soundtrack of that time. Right. And and so we tried to pull from that, the pool of Miami artists, because this was a Miami statue. The Miami statue was Miami's weekend. Gotcha. And I told them, I said, listen, we on show, because everything we do, we are getting the chance to do a lot of things first in the sports realm because of, me retiring early before other guys. And we on show. Everyone's looking at what we doing, how we doing it. Because when they time come up, they going to do their things and they going to do it big. And so we got to make sure that we setting the bar at a certain level. And I think that Friday night was just the perfect start to the weekend, to setting the bar of like how fly this night gonna be, how sexy the night was, and man, just a vibe. So man, just shout out to everybody that was just involved in it, man. I reached out to my friends here in LA at Forward and Revolve, and I asked them. I just said, hey, I'm doing this party in Miami, and I would love for you guys to sponsor it. They've sponsored my Hall of Fame party the year before here in LA, and they did, and they brought beauty to it. They brought their essence to it. So everything, man, the Jeter Boys, like everybody who showed up, we had a lot of people who believe in us that we reached out to people. We reached out to Don Julio, like, hey, this is what we would like. Right. We had certain images and visuals that we had, and we had people that we wanted to execute it. And so we were able to execute. Right. And that's what I loved about it.
And I'm going to get through this weekend, because the weekend was all the way dope. You got the following day you have, which we had that following podcast that following day. Yeah. And when we gathered.
We gathered the wine festival.
Which was the first in Miami. And then you go into the weekend and then you see it. So do you think that the weekend itself was a success for you? Let me ask this. Yeah, please. How big a success of the weekend was it for you?
Man, for me, it was put a bow on it. It was 10 out of 10 of the things that we wanted to accomplish. We've been working hard on our When We Gather Wine Dinner series of really, trying to brand it and show people what we can do in the wine space, our own way. And we were able to take that concept and make it a festival. And then we were able to bring that festival and put it right in the heart, of Overtown. a place that we all have so much history around and in. And so we were able to bring that to the culture, to the city, of Miami, and something we all wanted to do. So everything we wanted to do and everything you want to feel, we felt that weekend. And that's why I said in our village, it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment, man. My nephews, my nieces, my friends' kids, man, everybody walked away from there. You should have heard the stories that they poured back, the inspiration that they pour back from that, how they going to go into school, leaving that, what they want to do in their life now, because they all was inspired by a moment that none of us has ever experienced before. And we all knew that we were embarking on like unfamiliar territories, but something very special. And so the weekend, big check.
So now one of the few stories that came from, we were on that podcast as far as like what's the plan for the next statue, right? Like what's next? Some of us don't think another statue is going to come no time soon. My thought was that Pat was going to get one there, but then the Lakers surprised everybody.
Yeah, that was a fire announcement, by the way. Shout out to the Lakers, man.
Oh.
The Lakers, they do things nicely.
They do.
They do things very nicely and timely. That was a timely announcement.
That was.
Yeah, that was fire.
So that was like, for you, when you heard, what were you when you heard it?
I don't know where I was, but I remember but I do remember walking out with Pat before, I got outside for my statue. And, we were just talking about the moment. And I was like, Pat, I thought you'd be the first one to get a statue here. Like, I never thought about myself getting one until they started talking about me getting one. But I thought, it's Pat. Pat is the one who came and really changed the for real landscape of the Miami Heat. True. And then, you bring Shaq and myself and then Shaq and so forth and so on. But when I heard about the Lakers giving Pat the statue, like immediately I was like, I already know how it's gonna look. Like I know he's gonna have that Armani suit on. I know his hair gonna be wavy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he gonna be like, he gonna be like the jacket gonna be, his hand gonna be like this, the jacket gonna be a little open. He gonna be like looking out to the court or pointing. It's gonna be something, but it's gonna be Pat Riley-esque. It's gonna be fire. I already know it. So I already had my mind went to the vision. I'm like, this statue gonna be cold.
Well, it's only right that I guess that they did first, right? Because when I had a conversation, I was thinking about when that happened. I was like, the fact that he's getting one from the Lakers, which is makes only sense.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Because it doesn't make sense for Pat to give himself one in Miami. Like that's like Jay-Z giving himself like, I'm gonna do the Super Bowl show next year.
I give myself a raise. I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody work for themselves, get themselves raises.
But it's one of those things where it's better if somebody.
Well, the Harrisons would have gave Pat the statue. I think people would, like Pat's still an employee.
True.
Of the Harrisons. And so just like Jenny Buss and the family gave Pat a statue as the governors of the team, well, the Harrisons as governors could have done the same thing.
True.
Yeah.
But it was the Lakers.
But it looks right. The Lakers came first. His legacy there, what they accomplished with Showtime and all the things, man. It made all the sense in the world. And just to watch the Zoom where Pat was on with Magic and, and Coop and Byron, all those guys was on there, as they announced this, and Jenny was on there as they announced this to him, man. That meant a lot to him. Like this is the LA Lakers. It is some organization that it goes beyond the sport,
right?
And Miami's one of the biggest teams in the world. I mean, probably top 10 for sure when it comes to the world. But it's the Lakers, and for Pat to do what he did, there and continue his legacy once he left there, is just incredible. But that's where it started, and that's where it should be first.
Yeah, okay.
First.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. I see what you're implying.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah.
I guess I want to talk about the Bears.
But let me say something. Before you disrespect the Bears, you're a Dolphin fan. You sit over there and you act accordingly as a Dolphin fan. Because you won't what you talking about?
Listen though. Now that tear jerk that just happened, that tear jerk.
Yeah, we've had some tough ones. We've had Hail Mary losses. Listen, give it all. Listen,
heartbreak.
Like Deion Sanders said, you better get us now. You better get me down now. You better get me now while I'm bad.
I've been saying that for I've been saying that for a very long time.
Hey, listen, it's a lot of organizations that can say that. The Dallas Cowboys can say the same thing.
Oh, yes, they can.
Okay?
We can poop on them, too.
Okay, so it's a lot of poo-poo organizations going on here.
Yeah.
And we just so happen to have two of them right here, sitting right here.
You know what? You're right, because we've been hurting, too. Because we still talking about that 70s.
Y'all still holding on. Was that 72?
72. Perfect season, though.
That's all. That's all they talk about in Miami is the perfect season in 1972.
No one has done it.
It's great.
No one has done it.
No, that's great.
Even
and I'm glad that y'all got that. But
do.
y'all got to get some more. Y'all got to get something else. That's why it's a basketball town. That's why. Because we have 3 championships
We do.
in the 2000s. In the 2000s, dog.
All right.
Y'all got to stop this.
Okay, all right. But now we're talking about championships.
Man, my Bears suck right now, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna leave that alone because you're right.
We got some pieces, though.
You do.
We got some. We have.
You do. I have some pieces.
I can't do what none of them guys do.
Facts.
I'm just a fan. Okay. And in the midst of being a fan, I pay to be as disgruntled as I want to be or as happy as I want to be. So the only organization right now, because none of my kids are playing sports for a team, so I don't have to be totally fan on that I really have any care about is the Chicago Bears, because I grew up a Chicago Bears fan. Outside of that, I'm a bandwagon fan everywhere else around the world.
There you go.
Because I've done it, I'm not going to lose sleep for nobody else. True. I've already lost enough sleep for my own career. Okay. I'm not doing that for somebody else's.
Okay.
But the Bears is an organization I would like to see get back to the place of relevancy. Hopefully in my adult lifetime, I get a chance to see us get back to them confetti.
Hopefully that happens before another statue comes to Miami.
Dang.
But now, I also want to
cold-blooded.
Yeah, I know. But now we talk about, I know like what's going on right now. We're here in LA on the road series.
Now, why are we on the road series right now? Could you tell the people why we're on the road series?
So right now we're in the middle of moving.
We're in the middle of moving, so we're on the road for now.
And we're on the road right now. It's why we temporarily office studio-less.
Yeah.
But we got something cooking.
We're creating our own space here in LA. Yeah, we're excited about it.
And I'm very happy.
Sound the Wall Studios is in the works. It's coming soon.
And you came by the other day and you was very happy with what we're working on?
Yeah, because after I met with my financial advisor and saw how much money that you was spending over at the office, I had to come and check on you and make sure you was all right.
Yeah. But everything that was there was everything that was there.
Sound like my wife.
Everything you said was like, I'm like,
we had a good time, didn't we?
I'm like, hey, but it's gonna be worth it though. And that's all I'm saying. It's gonna be worth it.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be worth it.
It's gonna be a good location, man. And I think, speaking on it a little bit is what, our goal is. Obviously, we've been able to find our own workspace within it, right? We have a few offices dedicated to us. It's intimate, but it also too can accomplish everything we want to accomplish. So just knowing that we're going to have possibly 3 different sets of, where we can shoot different content, different places where, we want to be able to make this a place where other people can find a space where they want to come and shoot content, photo shoots, different things of that nature. So I'm really looking forward to, building it out, and especially out here in the Valley with a lot of growth and a lot of things going on. It's the first of many things.
Love that. Do you see just like possibly many shows coming out? Like I see you have the Wide Network.
Yeah, you see me.
I see.
Yeah, you ain't got this.
I don't have that.
I decided to wear this because I knew Bob didn't have it. But once we sat down and we went through kind of the next evolution of where my logo. I've always carried the Way of Wade logo. Probably was my main logo, and now it's more sports centric. And as I move into more lifestyle, we created what that looks like. And so the why, is something that we've been going with. And so we teamed up with actually CAA Brand Studio, who helped us create the logo. And they did some merch just to check us out and see. So I decided to wear one of the hoodies, what I'm saying? I call this cool gray. I got on this cool gray with my cool gray, Way of Wades. But there's something that, coming into year 2 as we, continue to build out the Wide Network and this platform. I have big dreams and big goals. And, one thing I want to do is I want to be able to, make this a network, where we're putting, not only the content that you and I create, that we have in other content on our network. And we have so many people within our already network that are doing similar things. So we want to build, something where everyone feels comfortable, the people who fits the mission statement of the network, to be able to grow this and then grow this network and have other content and other storytellers and creators, to be able to be on the platform of what Wide Network can be. And lawfully goal, but you don't get into this thing with just, you can't get into this without a long-term goal.
Dream big.
You can work every day and keep your eyes on the prize, but you got to have something that you're you're shooting for. And so I'm shooting for my own network.
All right. So I know we're gonna wrap it up soon, but did you hear Friday? Do you still listen to music like that?
That's crazy work. Yeah, I still listen to music, dog.
So, and again, not saying, because I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying.
I know how you roll.
Yes.
I know how you roll.
I get sent music. I'm not up on the trend. Like, I don't know what's coming out. Like, I'm not that guy. But I get sent music when someone feels that I should listen to something.
Did anybody send you something called?
Yes, Zaya Wade sent me something called from Kendrick Lamar. Yes.
What you think?
I've been listening to it the last 2 days.
Okay.
There's a couple bangers on there.
Okay.
It's a couple moments where I'm like, "Ooh, that's Kendrick." You can feel it. You know what I'm saying? So I love it because it's new music. Like everything just went a little silent after the little conversation went. I call it a conversation. Conversation that him and Drake had over the airways. Everything went silent.
It did.
Yeah. Listen, we are fans of music. We are. Please give us music, right?
Give us music.
But in the midst of it, that's their artistry.
Right.
And when he dropped his next album, we need something.
Yes.
Like we out here. We starving out here. So yeah, I'm about to listen to and I'm the kind of person, once I get an album, that's all I'm listening to. Like, don't send me nothing else. Don't introduce. I got to get through the album a few times, and I need to know a few words first before I pass on. So by the time I figure this out, it's already going to be something else going. But no, man, Kendrick is doing what Kendrick should do. And going back to the Super Bowl, man, shout out to Kendrick, once again for getting that nod, man. I think Snoop Dogg said it best. And we all have our favorite artists, and we all have moments where, we look and if something happened, we all be like, oh, man, he should have got that chance or he should have got that opportunity. I think Snoop said it best is nobody was getting these kind of opportunities until, Jay got into his relationship with the NFL, whatever his relationship is, which, I don't know what it is, but until Jay took that seat in there, the artist that we grew up watching was not the artist that was performing necessarily at the Super Bowl.
True.
And so as fans, we need to be thankful that we getting artists that we know and that is a part of our culture represented at, one of the biggest moments in sports.
Right.
And so shout out to Kendrick Lamar for his body of work, but we all know how things go too. Like he is hot right now. Like this fireplace ain't hot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been hot before as an athlete. And and when you're hot, you get the all-star nods.
Get the
you know
calls.
what I'm saying? You get the calls. So you get the appearances, you get the endorsements when you hot, when you're doing your thing. And so when I came in, Kobe was the guy. But then I hit the scene and I was hot. So they started giving me some stuff. But don't mean it took anything away from Kobe. So Kendrick right now, he is that he has that moment. And we live here in LA and we can feel the moment that he's having in this city because LA is like, he's our guy.
Right.
Like he's the king of LA, of California, of LA. And so, man, as a fan who don't know, those guys too much, like I ain't on neither side.
Facts.
I'm on the side of music and artistry. I love the fact that, not only he dropped his album to give us something in the meantime before we get to the Super Bowl, but also too that this black man get his opportunity to be in the Super Bowl. Listen, Lil Wayne is one of my favorite artists, and I know that was a controversial thing that went on. Lil Wayne's in my top 5, and I would have loved to have seen Lil Wayne perform, but that doesn't mean that he won't get his opportunity. Right now, it's this man's opportunity, and I think the part of it just being in New Orleans, the whole coming home piece to it, and how certain things line up, and it looks like it's the perfect storm,
right?
But sometimes it's not, and maybe it's something else for him. And so I can't wait till Wayne get his moment where he gets to be shined and put on that pedestal of being one of the greatest.
Dope.
And I think that's what the Super Bowl would have meant, where he would have been put on that pedestal, but he would get his moment. And so it's Kendrick time. And we're going to sit back and see what kind of show he puts on, because I think it's going to be a hell of a show, for sure.
We do know that Thanksgiving is coming up, and that's your favorite holiday.
It's my favorite holiday, and it's my favorite day of the year.
Why?
First of all, for me and my family, I didn't have traditions. You know what I mean? And we grew up watching shows that had tradition. We grew up watching, all these TV shows when we was growing up, and they all had traditions of family. And you're like, man, I want that. And so once I was able to create my own family, I was like, all right, I want to create a tradition. And so what day is that I want, everybody to be together? Like, what day would that be? And there's so many days throughout the year you can pick. And so I picked Thanksgiving because it's the one day throughout the year where I know it's actually on the calendar. It says thankful. Like Thanksgiving, like it's a moment for us to actually sit down and actually be thankful. You know what I mean? Like they scheduled it. They said, you humans are not going to be that grateful and thankful. Here go a day.
Right.
And so I love the fact that it's a day put on the calendar for us to actually sit down with our loved ones and bring our families together, reminisce, tell stories, create memories, create moments. Because once Thanksgiving over, we right back into our lives again. We right back into getting up and not being as thankful and grateful for the air that we get to breathe and the life we get to live. And so this one day, everybody in my family know. I can't say I don't ask for much because I probably do, but I ask for everyone to, no matter what our differences are throughout the year, no matter what we're going through, it's hard, especially as we get older, for everybody to continue to be able to be there in the same room because of a lot of different reasons. And so for us to be able to show up on this day together, we're going to have 70 people at our house for Thanksgiving. And you know how we get down. You know how it's going to go. And it's going to be a vibe. And it's going to be over the top. And I can't wait. I can't wait. And so everyone knows it's my favorite holiday of the year, but it's my favorite day of the year because it's a day where we can actually sit down and be thankful for everything that, we've been given and we've been blessed. And we all have. And sometimes throughout the year, you don't notice how much blessings that you've had and that you've gained throughout that year because you're just going and going and going. And we want more and more and more. Right? That's who we are. We want more and more and more. Slow down, sit down, be thankful. And so, Thanksgiving.
Oh, man, I got a cheers to that one, man. I got a cheers to that one. So I'm drinking my coffee.
Oh, it's cold now.
It is. This keeps it warm though.
Oh, hold on. I got one more thing to check in with.
Oh, please. Oh, let me put this down there.
I know you saw my post. And my daughter, I'm training. I'm the coach. Kav, she already at it. 6 years old, we already training.
I already know you talked about it for some time.
Yeah, we in.
But
we in.
It started.
No, it started. Before workouts in. On the schedule, baby. Listen, my daughter said to me the other day after our last workout, she said, Dad, are you my coach? I said, yeah, baby, I'm your coach. She said, okay, until I need another coach. I was like, well, yeah, until you need another coach. But yeah, man, I've been able to be able to share something with, my youngest child. It's been pretty cool to be able to just share something that, she loves hanging with Dad. She loves doing anything I love to do. And basketball is something that I love, and she knows it, right? And so now she's like, let's go work out. Wow. And she understands things. She applies it right away. And so today, me, her, and Zaya was actually out there. Like, I showed Zaya, like, Zaya, look at your sister. And Zaya was like, she's like, go ahead, do something that I couldn't do. Carry on. Zaya's crazy. But man, I'm really excited. Like I'm that dad. Like I got the court put out. I got the free throw and the free throw line, and everything is all pink on the court. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I want is I always want that moment that we're on the court together. She's young, is to feel this. It feel like something that's for her. It's hers. And it's just something that we share together. Like if you're gonna come and watch, you gotta be watching from like the windows. You can't, mom and them ain't gonna be outside. Like it's me and his daddy-daughter time.
That's dope.
And so that's something that I started the week before her 6th birthday. And I told her, I was like, let's work out. Let's just do this for 2 years before we start playing anything organized out here. And so we're about to train for the next 2 years. Y'all tune in to Kavia James Jr. Wade.
I love
Pipeline.
it. Hey,
legacy. Shout out to Wade Legacy, man. We talk about legacy. We talk about building legacy. When I retired, even socially, I reached out to my guy Dylan, and I was like, yo, I want to start this legacy page. I didn't know why. I don't think he knew why, but we wanted to continue the legacy. And I was like, man, we love to do things on the court and off the court. And so now you see the things not only that, I'm continuing to do, but my wife is doing, but my kids are doing. Right. Now you see that legacy is building. And so that statue, it breeds legacy for me. And when my kids look at it, I want them to be, of course I want other kids to be inspired. And I want other families to share stories and have, memories and moments there. But I want my kids to be the most inspired, and my nieces and nephews. And so my daughter walked away from that statue, and I feel like she like, Pops, what's up? Let's hoop. I'm like, you want to hoop?
Nice.
So man, I'm excited about that, dog.
That is.
You already know.
I already know. So you want me? Are you going to coach? Like coach?
I'm just right now. We're just gonna focus on training. I'm training my daughter, which I'm her coach. Right, I'm her coach right now. I'm not, I don't know, but in this moment, I've never had a chance to really do this. When Zaire was growing up and he was our age, I had just started my NBA career.
Right.
And so I was off. And yeah, I come home and we'd do some things, but not like this. Now I can actually move my schedule and be like, I lock in. And so I'm really enjoying it at this point because teaching girls is way different than teaching boys. Let me say that. And I'm enjoying the process of being able to teach a girl how to play and then teach little bad, knucklehead little boys.
Well, then we definitely gonna cheers to that then.
Yeah, man, we're gonna cheers to that. Is there anything else we need to check in on? Because, holidays is coming up. And I'm about to start traveling again. I go away from the holidays.
I do know you go away for the holidays, and I was like,
I'll take a holiday break, dog.
I was talking to the team, and I was like, all right, do we think we're gonna see him one more time before? I said, it's possible, or this could be the last one.
It's possible. It's possible. We may get an opportunity to get together in December before I head off.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, before I head off.
We'll see.
We'll see. Man, happy Thanksgiving, bro. I'm gonna see you. Gonna be at my house.
I will be there.
Yeah, you one of the 70.
I'm one of the 70. Hey,
I think I seen like 10 for you, your family.
Nah, I might have been 4.
Okay,
maybe 5. Half that.
Y'all roll,
split that.
The Mets, boy, they come.
We roll deep. So we're gonna toast it up. Just being I'm just grateful. Honestly, I'm just grateful. And that's how I'm ending right now for my toast. I'm just grateful for everything. I'm grateful for what I was able to witness. I was grateful for just being a part of this journey here with us, what we're doing right now, what we're building with the Y. Even though I don't have a hoodie, this is cool though. Hopefully I'll be grateful to have a hoodie one day.
You keep working hard, kid. One day you too will have a hoodie.
Oh, one day, dream big. But I'm just grateful, man, just of all that's happening. And then you can tell us what you're grateful for, and what you shared you shared.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm grateful, and I'm thankful.
Well, sitting on the Why podcast, man, I think before you think big, you have to appreciate the people who are on the journey with you.
Right.
And so on this journey of us, building our content arm and, building our conversation, space and, all the things we want to do, you appreciate the ones who are on the journey with you now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm grateful for whether it's 123 likes, whether it's 41 likes, whether it's 41 people looked at the YouTube, whatever it is.
All of it.
You're grateful for it now, and the people who want to sit and listen, to what you're building. And
Right.
So I'm very thankful to be on this next phase of my life and understanding, I'm excited about being back in front of the microphone as I started again this summer. Just even covering the games, just got my juices flowing by sitting here having more conversations.
Right.
And I got so many more I want to have. So I'm really thankful for this platform and thankful that, we decided to give ourselves our own space to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. So very grateful.
If you're going to see another episode after this, maybe not, but in this episode here, in the comments, tell us what you're thankful for. Tell us what you are grateful for. Whatever those are, let's just talk about it.
Yes. Please let us know, man. We want to be able to have engagement, obviously, right. As we grow this platform. So definitely drop us a note. Right now it's about Thanksgiving. So please tell us why you're thankful, what you're grateful for. Don't be shy in how many words you decide to put on our comments, man. So we can look at them. And then next time we get an opportunity to sit down and talk, we can discuss, what we saw and what we did, in a sense. And so drop it.
Cheers, though.
Cheers, dog. Cheers, some cold coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink mine, though.
I'm gonna finish mine too.
Okay.
I got that gingerbread, oat milk, chai.
I just got some straight.
You gotta go. Listen, bro. It's going to Starbucks
it's long,
bro. It's tough.
You need a degree.
I was stressing in line the other day.
You need a degree,
bro. I was stressing because I knew my time was coming up, and I knew my daughter Zaya. She knew what she wanted already, and her friend already.
You
knew.
Didn't know before you pulled up.
I never know what I want because now it's the holidays and they got all these new serves and flavors. I'm like, oh. So now I'm sweating a little bit. I'm sweating. I'm like, he was like, what you want? I'm like,
Well, to that, I'm glad for the next 4 weeks.
I'm on the gingerbread.
You good?
Oat milk chai.
Next 4 weeks, you should be good.
Well, you got to have a degree. They got to come out with Starbucks degrees or something.
They do. Well, see, I'm going to tell you the cheat code. Here's the cheat code. Look at the app before you go.
I'm not doing that. You got to know yourself. I have no apps on my phone. Let me tell you something about apps, by the way. I know this. We can cut if we want to. Let me tell you something about apps. I done got rid of all apps on my phone. You know why? That's just another place where people can ask you for some more shit. You understand me?
Right, though.
You understand me? No more apps. Don't ask me for nothing extra. I was like, I am setting myself up. I got Uber Eats. I got Cash App. I got Venmo. I'm getting rid of all this. Hey, you think you can? No. No more apps.
So you have none. So what you got?
I have
just the
basic
phone?
apps. I don't have apps that I can give anybody anything.
Well,
I'm trying to listen, man.
Just keep it simple.
It's hard out here it's hard out here, man. Listen, a lot of hats I wear.
Well, my brother, next time call me then. I'll look at the app. I'll tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. To the next one.
To the next one, y'all. Peace. Shit. No more apps.